Okay, last time we left off, we started about Kabbalah Shabbos at the Tzibur, Shalosh Tshuvas Nishmas Shabbos, and Reish Adivav. We're in the middle of the tshuva, but this really doesn't necessarily have to do so much with this tshuva. Let's say a person delayed, they didn't say Lechunanana until after Seisel Chavim. In the beginning of Kabbalah Shabbos, of course. You could say it after Seisel Chavim as well. When you start in a Pashtu Kokach, Loimer Mizmorim Eilu Shehim Kenegid Yemei Achol, Acher Zman Seisel Chavim Kishkvar Hu Shabbos. But it seems like this is not so simple at all to be able to say these Mizmorim, which correspond to the weekday after Seisel Chavim, when it's already Shabbos night, right? We learned that the first 6 Mizmorim of Kabbalah Shabbos, yesterday we learned, I think it was the Seder, I almost said this correspond to the 6 weekdays. So therefore, it can't be that if a person is going to be after Seisel Chavim, and they could say them. So you'll say, by us, we're never saying it after Seisel Chavim. You're right, but if this happens, so then you have this Shiloh.
Yeah, but you're still saying these 6 Mizmorim after Shkia most of the time, unless you're making early Shabbos in the summer.
After Shkia, that's not Seisel Chavim, no.
But that's still Shabbos time, no, technically.
It's a Safek time. Be'ez bati midrashos no hokshem izman lezman oimlim midrashos oroichem be'ez midrash magvios koidim lamiris mizmor lechunar v'talui be'haniskal. So in some places, the rabbi gets up to give a drasha, they try selling something to raise funds, stock or whatever, and it's done before lechunar anana. Miyu belav hachi lav shapir dami. That's not good. Kivin shemar b'mham. Most people are verbally accepting Shabbos upon themselves. It could be that now they're not fulfilling Tosefah Shabbos properly. So that's not good. Plus, you're entering into the Shaila as well, the Lechunarana business, and that's the story. David, is the volume working?
He was here.
She's here there. Can you hear us?
Look like it.
I don't know what the story is over there. You can hear it. I want to make sure this thing's working. David, can you hear us? Yes or no?
Sorry, did you share that whole thing?
Can you hear? Is it working?
What?
I don't know.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm here.
next Miyu.
What?
Amiros is like putting his ear to the thing. Is it working?
Yeah, but
Can you hear?
I just took a phone call while I was on Zoom.
Can you hear us?
Phone call. What? Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Hear.
You can hear. You can't hear me?
I hit
Maybe now.
I can hear you.
Can you hear?
Yes.
You could hear? Okay, we can't hear you. Weird that we can't hear you and you're not in mute. Okay, next simon. What's the din of saying Mizmor LeDavid before Lechunar Anana? Could you do that? In order to say Mizmor LeDavid with the Tzibor. Is there a concept of saying Mizmor LeDavid with the Tzibor? By the way, you want to stump someone a question? Ask them, why do we stand for that Mizmor? Mizmor LeDavid? Ask your average Orthodox Jew. You say, I have a riddle for you. What's the riddle? Why do we stand for Mizmor LeDavid? If you look at Art Scroll, they say it's customary to stand for Mizmor LeDavid. Yeah, but why? Right before Lechadodi, everyone does it. You want to ask anyone a riddle? Ask them, why are we standing? You know what they'll say? No clue.
We also sing Mizmor LeSoda. We also stand for.
What's the answer? I have to. I'm asking a good question now. You have to answer it as well.
Absolutely.
Who said? Where does it all come from? I once asked one of my chavrusas like 10 very difficult questions, and then I asked him a follow-up question. Why do I ask all these questions that I don't give answers? The answer is I want you thinking when you're not here, and if you really care, then couple weeks, a couple months later, you're like, what on earth is the answer to that question? I asked around, I looked around, I couldn't find the answer.
There's no hilchos, like he said, there's no hilchos Kabbalah Shabbos.
That's right. You gotta want the answers. You gotta want it. Like the story goes with the guy who was very wealthy, and he was traveling in town to find the shidduch for his daughter. So he goes to the big yeshiva, and he says, "You remember his story?" He said, "That's right." He goes to the big. I don't remember who I tell what to. So, and he goes, "Yeah, you remember it?"
And the guy runs after him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you do remember it. Uh-huh. And he asks all them akasha.
I want to hear the
They don't,
story.
and no one knows the answer. He said, "No one knows the answer. No one can marry my daughter. If you know the answer, you marry my daughter." So he's pulling out the yeshiva, and then one guy comes running out and says, "No, I don't know the answer, but I need to know the answer. What's the answer?" He said, "You're the one. If you want to know the answer that badly, you're the one. You're gonna marry my daughter, and you're gonna sit and learn for many, many years." So we'll try to learn about maybe why we stand for this mizmor during this tshuva as well. So could you say mizmor David? Is there an idea, a concept of saying mizmor David with the tzibor as opposed to just going in order from lechun and anana? Yormrim ala seder daika. You should say it in the order of the kapitlach in the Kabbalah Shabbos. Al pi mavor b'sefer seder hayoim shemizmori lechun and anana v'goymer nisteru keneged vav yemei hamaisa. As we learned already yesterday, the Seder Hayom teaches us that the Mizmorim correspond to the first 6 in Kabbalah Shabbos correspond to the first 6 the 6 days of the week. V'ilu Mizmor LeDavid Havu LaHashem B'nei Elim Hu Neged Erev Shabbos. This Mizmor of LeDavid corresponds to Erev Shabbos. Al Kain Ein LaHafoich Sidri Sheish Mei Abersis. We don't want to now switch over the 6 days of the creation. In other words, we see from over here that the Mizmor, the David, is a very special Mizmor because this is the first Mizmor after the first 6 Mizmorim, and therefore, since it's the first one, it corresponds to Shabbos. Okay, and so you already could already perhaps tap into. There's a chashivos.
All right, let's go.
Mizmor is very special because this is the Shabbos Mizmor. If it's the Shabbos Mizmor, we have to honor that by standing. V'av shebesimin hakodim kasavnu the lakabel Shabbos b'tzibur odif meloymar mizmorim elu ala seder. Right, what did we say earlier? Can you make this thing bigger? Oh, no, I just lost the whole thing. Okay, even though we learned earlier. Should really take a class on this. No, leave it. You can't make it bigger, right? No. Make this thing bigger. Show small, high. Show grid video. Oh, grid video. All right. Oh, now you could resize it. There we go. There we go. Much better. That's what I wanted. Okay, so even though in the previous siman we wrote to be makabel Shabbos b'tzibur odif meloymar mizmorim elu ala seder, right? Even though we wrote previously that to accept Shabbos with the tzibur is better than saying these mizmorim. Right?
Check on the
Misupakni tuva imbachal yesh kapida loymar mizmor zeh daikim tzibur. I'm not sure should I be saying this mizmor specifically with the tzibur or not. In other words, we already related the idea of the importance of saying Kabbalah Shabbos in order. Nevertheless, even so, it could be that this mizmor is so important that this mizmor should specifically be said with everyone else. There's a concept, there's an idea of saying it with other people. Hagam sheish l'dayik sas medivri harizal shemeshas amiros mizmor leDavid havu laHashem b'nei elim Havi Kabbalah Shabbos, Sheisa B'Shar Kavanos, Inyan Kabbalah Shabbos, Sheish Lechavin Lekabel Shabbos Lefnei Amiras Mizmor Hanizkalel. That even though that according to the Arizal, the recitation of Mizmor LeDavid is accepting Shabbos. We accept Shabbos upon ourselves when we say it, and one should intend to do so before he says this Mizmor. Ayin Sham Lotzeis Lasad of Alachzor upon of the Mar. He says, go out to the field, turn the western. Shesham Hachama Shoikas, which whoever didn't know by now is where the sun sets. That's why the word Ma'ariv means west. Comes from the word Erev, night, because at night sun sets in the west. Additionally, that's why the word Mizrach means east. The shorish of the word Mizrach is Zarach. The Radak writes in his Sefer Shorashim. That's where it shines. The sun shines, it starts rising in the east. Beautiful Sefer I have at home. Sefer HaShorashim. Every single word means something within the word. The root of the word. Interesting concept. Anyways, there's one son in Yeshiva, Yeshua Alt. He was very into this. He was the first one who brought my attention to this idea. So he says to go out to the field. I wonder where he is. I should get his number. He's a serious steiger back in the day. I wonder what he's doing nowadays. Ayin Sham Lotzis L'Stad of Alachzor Pon of Lamarav Shasham Achama Shoikas Ubashash Kiyas Achama Lachavin Beimo Beyiro Lakabel Kedusha to Sefer Shabbos, and then you should have intention with great fear or trepidation to accept the holiness of Shabbos coming in. You have a whole process. Then afterwards you say in a beautiful way the Mizmor of Havul Hashem, Mizmor Havul Hashem B'nei Elim. Fine, that's the Seder, that's the order that we do. Maybe that's where the custom developed to stand. Maybe that's why Art Scroll wrote the custom is to stand. Over here, this is really the culmination of all the amazing preparatory mitzvahs that we've been doing, everything that we've been learning about, all the preparations that go into Shabbos. This stuff takes time. Cleaning the house, setting the table with everything that's needed for the table, setting up the candles, getting the haircut / shaving, cutting the nails, putting on the Shabbos clothes. Well, first showering, putting on the Shabbos clothes, cleaning the spider webs, the sweeping. All this takes time. Buying the food, cooking the food. Now, finally, at the end of all of this, boom, here we have it. We're ready. We're about to get into it. We have the 7th Mizmor. Boom, you got to stand up for that. That's respect. Now, that's a nice answer. That's Torah. Huh?
But we that don't,
Yeah.
We don't accept Shabbos at that point, especially with the whole thing with the minhag of the other always talked about.
Yeah. We don't, but it's right before, and it's that 7th Mizmor which corresponds to Shabbos. It's right there. It's like 3 minutes before the wedding. You already feel that it started. The music already started. The waiters are there. Everyone's there. Everyone.
The 6th or the 7th kapitel.
I thought this was the 7th. No, should we count? I thought it was the 7th. Anyways, by the way, the Arizal also brings to stand for this Mizmor. That's our custom. To stand during Amiras Mizmor Zeh, during the recitation of this Mizmor. I like this layout much better because you only use one side of it at a time. So now you have it. How many is it?
6. By us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
And the
But people also stand for Anna, no? Because I guess
I'm not sure what they do with that. Everybody's like,
I think most people stand for it also.
Maybe according to
So far, is it different? Sfar? I don't think so. No,
I don't know.
I think it's the same, right? How many you got there?
If I don't have the place, they can
1, 2, 3,
4,
4,
5,
6.
6.
Same thing. So it's 6. I mean, seems like according to that Rizal, some would already be Makabel Shabbos there almost. So
it's like what I'm saying because
it's 6, but it's the end of it. It's the last one. It's the last one.
It's already getting ready to accept Shabbos.
It's the last one. It has a chashiva. It's all based on it comes back to the Seder Hayom. No. So it was the 6th. Did we miss something over here? He never said it was the 7th.
I don't think he said it's the same.
He said that some had the custom to go out, be makabel Shabbos, and he said maybe because of that, so therefore, because of that, you do it. In other words, it's right before, it's the culmination of
wrong with you?
Shabbos. Oh, now his volume's working.
Yeah, we just put it on mute.
Wenn ich dir
Now my volume's working. It wasn't working before.
Nein, you should be surprised. I'm hoping mit der Stuhl später kann man so gehalten, dass ich
I'm
keine
rocking the Yiddish over there.
Zeig mir dann dann mit der Achter sagen, wenn ihr.
Ask him if he knows why you stand for Mizmor. See what he says.
I don't answer him.
Also,
Yeah,
die
I'll
Fix.
ask Stamim Yishum, the Ma'az Maschil Kabbalah Shabbos. By the way, David, I'm going to Borough Park probably tomorrow. I got to pick up a new Otzer.
Oh yeah, very good. Where? What? In the evening or in the daytime?
I think I'm gonna have to go in the day because that's when they're open, and also I don't want to hit traffic. It could be a difference of a 50-minute drive versus an hour and 45 minutes.
Very true.
Crazy with
Very
the drive. I'll tell you the address where it is. 47th Street, 1270 47th.
12. Wait, say it again. 12 what?
1270 47th Street.
Oh, yeah. So 12.
Yeah.
So it's between 12 and 13th on 47th.
I
Yeah.
have no clue. I'm just gonna plug it into
You
the
deep in the
thing.
heart over there.
Yeah, but it's
That's not so
worth
far
it
from-
because if they're
That's
gonna
not so far
ship
from Rari.
something, guys, $600 thing. If they're gonna ship it and it gets lost or something, and then plus they need the old one, I don't want to be involved with shipping, and then they have to transfer it on the computer, which really they could do remotely anyways. But it's just better to just go in. It's just not worth it for me, and I want to get it as soon as possible. Also, all right. Now, umastamim yishum demaz maschil Kabbalah Shabbos. This is really the beginning of Kabbalah Shabbos. We're entering right in. Begam haminag loimer lafon of boy v'neitzel lekras kalu k'moshen og ariza loimer yefim physical Kabbalah Shabbos. Okay, the different minhagim akdem before bekis v'ariza lechachila be'inyan asara b'shas Kabbalah Shabbos. According to that reason, you need 10 people when you're Kabbalah Shabbos. Chiddush. V'chein b'siddur tefillah yeshara shiyomer mizmor zeh be'amida v'yachavin or v'yachon lekabel tzefes nefesh yisera. Well, have in mind also that we're about to get the nefesh yisera, that extra soul for Shabbos. Near the mizmor zeh adayin lav Kabbalah Shabbos k'mori. As we spoke out, this mizmor it's not a full-fledged. You're accepting Shabbos upon yourself right now. It's a continuing of the chain of accepting it. It's like the beginning of the chain. It's enough that we're going to accept Shabbos upon ourselves afterwards when we say B'ay B'Shalom at the end of L'chadaydi. Mizmor Shir Li on Shabbos, when we say Mizmor Shir with the Shabbos. But this is the... So in other words, this is a very interesting idea. All right. All right, what's the Shiloh over here? Okay, let's see what he says over here. See what he says. Shuva easy. Parshas. The Parish, Eitz Chaim. Yeah, by Parish. Yeah, it's explained by the Eitz Chaim, one of the Gedolim Mafarshim Shalom in Yaakov. On Mein Yaakov, Amava Kama Daflam at Beis and Beis. Ubesefer Lukuti Maharich Mevi Mesidur Hashloh Hakadosh. The Masharim Boy Venetzi in a Kavanah Shioitzim Apolachotz. When we say Boy Venetzi, let's go out and greet Shabbos. We saw the rabbis in the Gemara that we learned already. Doesn't mean necessarily to physically go out to greet Shabbos. Sheina Shabbos Bame Bachutz. Lifnim derech hasada. Shabbos isn't coming from a field and then going inside a person's house. It's coming from Shamayim, from above to down below. That's how Shabbos comes in. Elokavana, rather, the explanation of this is, the intention of this is, She'in anu mamtinin ad shetavo Shabbos alina malv. We're not just sitting there with our feet up waiting for Shabbos to come in. Rather, we're going to do an act. Rather, we're going to do an act to accept Shabbos upon ourselves when it's still day. That's what we're going to do. What about going outside to accept Shabbos? Ofen, Bakama Achronim, Kotzfu, Sheyesh Bazeh, Hider Godel, Loseis, Lachatzer, Beis Akneses, Lakabelas Shabbos. Many Achronim that they write that there's a big hider. It's a nice idea to actually go out to the courtyard of the shul. Lakabelas Shabbos, to greet Shabbos. Behu kedugmos hamelech habal lavaker b'nei ha'ir. This is similar to a king who is coming to greet the people of the city. Shiyotzin lekroso lachutz kedei lekabel panav, that they go outside to greet it outside in order to accept Shabbos. V'chein nimsa b'kisvi Arizal, this is also what the Arizal says, shebeshas yitziyaso yilutzada lekabel Shabbos hayoimer boivenetzi. The Arizal also says that when a person goes out to the field to greet Shabbos, you would say boivenetzi. So in other words, some say that no, you should actually go outside. Just like you're greeting a big person. You went outside, you went out to the field. What?
I'm saying, no, if you daven with a big minyan, I mean, so maybe like a small shtibel, but like a big minyan, it's going to take 20 minutes to do.
Okay.
It's gonna take more. I'm just for to get everyone outside, you know.
Okay.
Do Kiddush Levana.
Yeah.
Kiddush Levana is everyone. Most people don't go back in. I think, I guess it's still a smaller crowd for Kiddush Levana. I don't know why.
You know what we do for a lot of people, and it's difficult. We fast in the year. That's difficult. There's a lot of people. Why do we fast?
Trust me, the
there is such thing as
that's only the Kiddush Club, Chevra.
Yeah,
there is such. No, but there is such thing as tircha d'tzibur. I'm saying it's not like, you know, do things quickly and.
Tircha d'tzibur, not to be makabel Shabbos alcohol.
All right, so but you know, doing like since we didn't, I don't know this.
I'm with you on the Tircha Tzibur there, David.
No, I'm saying to get everyone outside and then.
Chazal, that bothers Chazal in other places, but here it's not bothering them.
It's not a tircha d'tzibur. When you're doing it's l'sarach, you need it.
Yeah,
it's a mitzvah.
Not like it's a hosafa,
yeah.
5 hosafas.
It's not like you're rolling a whole sefer Torah and everyone's waiting.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, was it during something about getting a aliyah? Something that someone could do during an aliyah. It's tircha d'tzibur. It's like I don't know. I guess that's what I'm learning. No, that's the one thing I'm learning. All right, never mind. Tangent.
That's right. But Magen Avraham himself says it's good to go out to the field of Bahar. Many write that at least you should go out from shul to a exposed place or a courtyard in the shul. We're going out to greet a king. It was safer. Yaakov, perhaps. Not sure. That's an early custom. He has length with open rebuke about this. And people don't do this. Bach also comes along the Bach in Simin Tav Chavav Hilchos Kiddush Levana. According to the Bach, why don't we do Kiddush Levana when we're under a roof? Which it would still work but as we learned. Mishum sheyesh lotzis l'rachov kederech adam she'yotz l'kas melech. Go out to the street like you're coming to greet a king. Mishnah Brusham. Seems like in the continuation of time, this completely was forgotten. Because people dwelled in cities, and it wasn't so common. They're going to be a courtyard that's big enough in front of the shul, or because maybe the Goyim are going to start hating us. I want to say 2 points on this. Number one is for what David just said before. We learned the Sha'al Shuvas know to be Yehuda and Hilchos Kiddush Levana. If they were in the middle of Mikra Megillah, it was the last. It was it's Yilei Megillah on the 14th of Adar, so it's towards the end of the time when you could say Kiddush Levana. They weren't able to see a Levana, and then boom, a Levana came out in the middle. So maybe some suggested to go outside, stop the laning in the middle, and do the Levana. David, is everyone coming back to hear the Megillah after the Mekadosh Levana in the beginning of Megillah Esther?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you see, they weren't concerned about Tircha d'Tzibura. Why? Because it's a mitzvah. It's needed. So too over here, it's a mitzvah. But Zokter of Harfin has 2 reasons why it's not done. Number one, look at your average shul in Brooklyn, Williamsburg Park. There's nowhere to move out there. Shul's nice and large, but outside there's no space. Number one. Number two, all the people are going to be going out. They're going to be doing this thing, and why am I going to look at it? Who do these people think they are? What are they doing? 300 people in the middle of the winter, these people are sugar. Let's kill them. Who knows what they're going to say? Who knows what they're going to try to do? You're gonna say, "Oh, these Jews, anti-Semitic rants." Then who knows what's gonna happen? Therefore, shave al taseh. Perhaps that's what developed not to go out anymore, and that's why learning about this and even talking about it is so foreign to us that we question it from today to tomorrow. How could you do such a thing? Yeah, nice pun. Vishamati, I heard.
Oh boy.
Al P Alma Pe Echad? Not sure. Shahagriz Hagon Rav Yitzchak Zev Mebrisk, otherwise known as
Oh, the name already Pamecha? No.
the Brisker of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Higher Yoitzi Lamar Pesas Beso. He will go out to the Marpesas. He will go out to the porch of his house. Zman Ma Lefnei Shus come a little bit of time before sunset. Yishiv
So what,
Sham.
he's what is he davening on his own?
Either there was a minion there or
That was Mincha beforehand.
Definitely a small minion.
oh no. This isn't talking about a minion. Yeah, this isn't talking about a minion. He was just sitting there. Yeah, he probably davened mincha earlier, right? Because there's no COVID back then, so he was probably davening earlier, and a little bit before Shkia, he would go out before sunset. He would go out on his porch. Yeshiv sham b'devekos nifla. He would sit there with a tremendous amount of devekos, closeness of kirva to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, to Hashem, and what would he do over there? The Himtin man he would wait until sunset. When sunset came in, he would stand up and accept Shabbos upon himself. In order to fulfill what that means, going out to greet Shabbos. The dugmas melech basar v'dam sheyotzim l'kraso koidim zman hameyuar l'biyaso mamtinin olav b'chutz. Right? And this is in order to fulfill what this means, going out to the field to greet Shabbos. Similar to if there was a chashav person, we would go out to greet them before the
I don't have place.
special time, before the special time to greet Shabbos. And we would wait. So too over here. Shuva Yisinami, Haggadah Shel Pesach, Mebeis Levi, Shenag Latzis Chutz Lebeso, Lavush Bebigdei Shabbos, V'amar Bepiv, Boy V'neitz Lekar Shabbos. Also by the Beis Levi, he would be dressed in his Shabbos clothing and he would go out and verbally say, "Let's come, let's greet Shabbos." You go out of his house. V'hayoshiv u'mamtin Sham Leknisa Shabbos Gadmim Masapa Lavo Shal Melech, and he would go and he would wait for Shabbos to come in like a person who was anticipating a king coming. Very nice tshuva. Okay, is there anything left? Okay. Looks like there's gonna be one more. How much is this? Perfect. Perfect. Okay, this is gonna be the last tshuva that we're gonna be learning, and we're gonna conclude all the halachas that we've been learning about for the past month with this tshuva. And then Amir Hashem, tomorrow we are going to try to get in one session a chazara of the Word document from everything that we've been doing. I don't know if it could be done in one, because right now it's 8.5 pages, and I might need to just add a little bit more. So maybe we'll do 1.5 sessions, and we'll do partial another half or something. I don't know. I don't want to try to force it in one. If we could do it in one session, we'll do the 8 pages in one session. Just I know 5-6 pages with questions, comments, additional thoughts. Could take more time, so we'll make an assessment. No rush. We made it this far. It's definitely no rush. And then we're going to start Hilchos Chanukah next. Amir Hashem. Behakpeido le'echol b'Shabbos al shulchan sheyesh lo daled raglayim. No, last Shiloh. We learned about that there's a concept of making sure that your table has 4 legs. Yeah, we saw that brought down. Does that mean it has to be exactly 4, or it shouldn't be less than 4, but it could be more than 4 legs? For example, a big table, right? Sometimes you need it. Okay, so the 4 was not saying it has to be exactly 4. The 4 was a minimum. If it's more than 4 legs, it's no problem. Now, during a weekday, it's really not an issue. and one does not need to be careful that the table has 4 legs. Chasa Magan Avram. Charizel diktik le'echel b'shulchan bas dalet reglaim. Magan Avram writes that the Arizal was very careful to eat at a table that has 4 legs. Dugma, the shulchan shabes HaKnesses is going to be similar to the table that was used in the Beis HaMikdash. Miu nira the inkapeda. Really, there's no problem. B'yoser medalet raglayim with more than 4 legs. V'hu lefi hayoytzi mekama makayimos the davar machuvim b'mispar neged davar yodua tosefes ein megara haremes. When you have a concept of having something which has to be an exact number, if it's more than that, so then it's not a problem. Timavur b'Ramah, like the Ramah writes, Reish Siman, Reish Hamagimel. The beginning of Siman Reish Hamagimel. Over there, the Ramah is going on the Ashkenaz custom to add candles after 2. Really, we only have 2 Zachar Shamar. The custom developed later. Mitzvah Hashem, we're going to learn that Siman based on the amount of kids. Well-known concept. You add. So you see that there's no problem of adding. Just like over there, there's no problem. This is what he's referring to when he says Kimavor b'Ramah, and he's not elaborating. That's what he means. He's assuming that you know that Ramah, and therefore that's what he's intending to in those few words there. V'halchanami, so over here, ha'ikar shlo yeh pachos of al yoser inkapeda. The main priority is that you don't have less than this. But if you have more, then it's no problem regarding the legs of the table.
Shabbos.
Yeah. No, we're saying on Shabbos, yeah, on Shabbos, just Shabbos we're talking about now. Okay? Now, certain times it is a problem. It's called Baal Tosef, right? But certain times it's not. Va'agav, tangentially, yesh layin, ma'u b'shulchan shel habeis mitbachayim she'oichlin sham rak b'yamosachol. What about if you have a kitchen table? You have an eat-in kitchen, it's called. So you have a kitchen table and then you have a dining room. So does that kitchen table that you only eat on during the week, is it okay if it's less than 4 legs? Do you need Nami that it will also be Shiyeh law that it will be Dalet Raglayim, 4 legs on the table. Malashun Sefer Hatikunim Shekasav Shabbos Sarach Letakna Bei Petura Ba'arba Ragilin Ke Gavna de Petura Dil Ela. Okay, so it says in the Tikunim that Shabbos sarach l'takna bay, you need to fix for it. Petura means a table. Ba'arba ragilin, that is 4 legs. Kigavna, just like the Petura del Ela, and the tables upstairs in Shamayim, in heaven. Yoitzi the who dafka b'shel Shabbos. So we see that this is specifically Shabbos we're talking about. That you need the table with 4 legs. V'ayin be kafachayim sham. Mela shebeshulchan. So we see that a weekday table, you don't need to be stringent and make sure that it has 4 legs. But I saw the Sefer Mara the Shmaisa. I saw in that Sefer, when they brought a new table to the rabbi from Nasod. It's not Nassau.
The side.
I don't know where that is. When he saw the table didn't have 4 legs, he pushed the table off himself. He said, "Get out of here. Get this non-4-legged table out of the house." He said, because we don't use such a table. It doesn't have 4 legs. Clear. It's implied from that episode that you shouldn't use it at all, even during the week. It seems like the explanation over there is that they use it also Shabbos. So look, if you have a table that doesn't have 4 legs that you're using for Shabbos, I wouldn't necessarily go throw it out, but I would say for your next table, maybe it's something nice to think about to maybe get it that it's 4 legs.
Most in the kitchen, some tables have that base in the middle.
Yeah.
And all.
Yeah, pedestal.
What?
Like a pedestal. Pedestal.
Right, 100%. So, anyways.
Shabbos during the week, he's saying it's not an issue, but Shabbos might be.
Yeah. All right. So Mitzvah Hashem, tomorrow we'll continue with this Chashuv halacha. Have a wonderful day.
Yes.
Welcome to you.
Have a good day.